By now, all of you know about the controversy surrounding Shah Rukh Khan's film Pathaan. It's played out all over. The BJP has a problem with Deepika Padukone's saffron bikini. Apparently, the idea of a saffron bikini is to attack Hinduism. Now, as absurd as that sounds, we can't forget that we live in a democracy. As long as there are no threats or intimidations, the BJP or the fringe or whoever can keep making these outlandish claims. Absolutely no problem. They can criticize Shah Rukh Khan, they can criticize Deepika, they can criticize the producers as well. But what they cannot do is this: drag Shah Rukh Khan's 22-year-old daughter into the issue. And that's exactly what has happened. This is exactly what Madhya Pradesh Speaker Girish Gautam has done. He's daring Shah Rukh Khan to watch Pathaan and specifically the song Besharam Row with his daughter and post a picture of it on social media. Now, what is the point behind this bizarre dare? Well, Mr. Girish Gautam believes this movie is so vulgar that Shah Rukh Khan will not be able to watch it with his own daughter. Listen into what he said.
हमने तो शाहरुख खान को भी कहता हूँ ना, तुम्हारी बेटी हो गई ना 23-24 साल, जरा उसके बैठ के साथ देख लो फिल्म ना वही, और फिर बताना वो करो ना, डाउनलोड करो ना पिक्चर.
First of all, why drag the young girl into this? Suhana is not part of the film. She's not part of the promotions. So why bother dragging her in or talking about her? The answer is simple. It's misogyny. I'm not a fan of indulging in such absurdity, but I do hope that Shah Rukh Khan actually goes through with this dare. That's the only way you can destroy this kind of mindset. And like I said at the start, this is nothing to do with political loyalties. Misogyny cuts across party lines, which brings us to the second comment of the day. Congress leader Ajai Rai of Uttar Pradesh took a swipe at Union Minister Smriti Irani. He could have criticized many things about her if he doesn't like her. He could have criticized her policies or her ideology. But Mr. Rai chose to reveal the depths of his misogyny. He says the minister only goes to her constituency of Amethi to show latkas and jhatkas. I honestly don't want to play this soundbite out, but it's important to show you what our so-called social servants think about women. Listen in.
आप जितने कल कारखाने आप देख लीजिए, चाहे वो भेल का कारखाना हो, चाहे डेल का कारखाना, जो भी चीज़ें, जितनी भी फैक्ट्रियां लगी हैं, सारी फैक्ट्रियां आज बंदी के कगार. जगदीशपुर का पूरा इंडस्ट्री एरिया लगी है. लगभग जहां लोगों ने वहाँ बताया कि आधे से ज़्यादा कल कारखाने बंद पड़े हैं. स्मृति ईरानी केवल आती हैं, लटके झटके देकर चली जाती हैं. वो निश्चित तौर से गांधी परिवार की सीट है और रहेगी. राहुल गांधी निश्चित तौर से 2024 में वहाँ की कार्यकर्ताओं की मांग है. हम सब लोग ये निश्चित तौर से डिमांड करेंगे कि वो वहाँ पे चुनाव 24 में आके लड़े.
Now, Smriti Irani is not one to stay quiet, and she shouldn't. She has hit back at these comments. She has called out Rahul Gandhi on Twitter. Let me quote what the minister has written. She says, and I quote, "You and Mummy Ji, which is Sonia Gandhi, need to get your misogynistic goons a new scriptwriter." Now, kudos to Smriti Irani for that response, but the fact is not everyone is a union minister. They may not have the political backing or the guts to give this response. Which brings me to two important things to note about both these cases. Number one, these men are targeting powerful women. One is the daughter of India's biggest movie star. The other is a union minister. Tells you how fearless and audacious misogyny is. If such powerful women can be targeted, imagine what happens every day to ordinary women across India. Number two, both these comments have come from politicians. Two politicians from the biggest parties in the country, the Congress and the BJP. What have they done to punish these leaders? They haven't even been warned, let alone suspended or expelled. These parties are supporting the misogyny of their leaders by remaining silent. Lalita Kumaramangalam is a former chief of the NCW. She's joining us on the broadcast. She's also a member of the BJP. We have Ranjana Kumari, who's an activist, joining us, and Dr. Shashi Panja is Minister in charge, Department of Women and Child in the West Bengal government. Thank you, all three of you, for joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Shashi Panja, misogyny cuts across party lines. And, you know, I'm going to start putting out pictures of leaders who've made misogynistic comments across the years. You know, ever since I started journalism, ma'am, I've been hearing netas make misogynistic remarks and get away with it very easily. Can you please explain to me why they think they can say what they want to say and get away with it? Because there are members not just in the BJP or the Congress party, but even in the TMC, who constantly attack women leaders in the, in the BJP and in the opposition.
Good evening to all. And truly, as I need not have been here as a member of a political party, because as you rightly said, that it cuts across all political lines, in fact. In fact, we don't have to assemble here to say what the party is saying. The idea is what is the mindset for women of our country. Now, it is very unfortunate we do get dragged into this because the utterances are obviously from political leaders. This is very unfortunate where there are such important issues to be discussed, with the parliament also open at this time. We could have discussed issues on reservation of women, actually. To say so, we could have discussed issues of women's safety, on women empowerment. But here, even you have to lend that airtime to, actually condemn such misogynistic remarks. Now, this issue is also started, regarding the movie. Then it went on to with the colors of the movie, or the colors of the costume which the actress is wearing. Then it was also about, they went into the religion of the actor and how he was close with the religion of the actress. So it is just getting too severe and too out of hand, and we all need to step down. Now, that has snowballed. No, people don't know where to stop, because parties are not directing their leaders, or not the highest in the authority is not also issuing any statements. Now, we have seen even in West Bengal in 2021 in the elections as to how our own presently Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee herself was, we had the Prime Minister of the country catcalling. Now, this is very unfortunate. This is not done. This should not be done. So, as we said, we've seen in the past, when it comes to Bollywood, even film stars, like Urmila Matondkar, how she was spoken about by a BJP MP. We've again seen how Shashi Tharoor's wife, Sunanda Pushkar, the late Sunanda Pushkar, was called 50 crore girlfriend, from the highest to anybody on the ground. And as you said, that I don't know what is the message by saying these things against powerful women or, powerful women established in politics or otherwise. Is it to create a ripple? Is it to, prevail or to establish a mindset? That's not the mindset of the people of India. That's not the mindset of the people of the Indian society. So just because these few political people are speaking up does not mean that's the line which the society or endorses, for that matter.
Okay, but ma'am, the fact is, as I said, it cuts across political lines. The fact is that even leaders from the TMC constantly are attacking and making misogynistic remarks about against Rupa Ganguly, who's from the BJP. But be that as it may, Lalita Kumaramangalam, Smriti Irani, all right, she's a public servant. Fine, you can criticize her policies. You don't like the way she speaks, that's fine as well. You can criticize her ideology. But why say unnecessary, right? To say that she only goes there, does latke-jhatke and come back. What does that even mean? Shah Rukh Khan's daughter, 22-year-old, has nothing to do with the film. And yet you drag her in and say, let father watch film with daughter. It is so vulgar that he'll not be able to do it. Where's the need? Where is this coming from?
Pure and simple misogyny and very deep-rooted patriarchy in this country. I mean, I can give you a list of political leaders across the board, and unfortunately, sometimes it's not just the women, the men, though it is mainly the men who come up with these absolutely disgusting remarks. I have said over and over again that people in public life must learn how to guard their tongue. There are certain things you just don't say, and when they say it, it's very clear that they're, the way they think, their mindset, as we call it in India, is badly exposed. Neither of these men should have said anything like what they said. Neither of them, regardless of whatever party a man may belong to, regardless of the post he holds, and the same holds true for the women. such things should not be said. It is disgusting. They should apologize. And though I don't hold out much hope for it, because it doesn't really look like people have ever apologized for saying something about women. In Smriti Irani's case, if you remember, there was that the man who was always shooting his mouth out from Shiv Sena. She took him to court. She won that case. But nobody seems to have learned that, women are not here just to be mocked in order to make the point. All of this is just in order to make a political point, which is what makes it, according to me, sometimes even so sleazy. I don't normally use terms like that. But it's very sad that we have men in positions of governance and power who say these things and think that they haven't said anything wrong. The worst part is that most of them will not even think they've said anything wrong. That's the sad part. I mean, that's really the most regrettable part.
When you have a 65-year-old, talk about the way he's talking about a 22-year-old, it is sleazy. It is sleazy.
Why do you have to drag anybody?
I'm just putting this thought out there.
And unnecessarily drag his daughter into this. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can say anything about anybody's daughter, it just comes off the tip of your tongue. But most of us forget that we also have female relatives in our own families, and we wouldn't like people to talk about them like that. It's very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Ranjana Kumari, we know that our assemblies and our parliament is a toxic males club, a boys club. We know that. If you look at the statistics, it will tell you that if you do an average, if you do the math, and if you look at the average, only 10% women in this country make up for our assemblies and parliament. Does this deep-rooted patriarchy / misogyny have something to do in the numbers that we are talking about? That maybe if there were more women in parliament, if there were more women in the assemblies, your male colleagues would be a little more respectful towards you and what you bring to the table?
Well, first of all, share this kind of a remark. This sleaze is all over, and starting from women enjoy rate to 50 crore, whatever, all the quotations that you just gave in your program. Every time a politician who's supposed to create a new culture, who's supposed to lead, who's supposed to change society, who's supposed to top to bottom, whichever across the party, as you very rightly said, they all support each other. In some sense, they also are responsible for creating the culture. This misogyny will not go just by numbers. This misogyny has to go when the part of the problem is that when they make such statements, they're never punished. They're never asked to apologize. They're never ever in La Paz, so many statements you will see, media did raise these issues, but do you think they have ever felt that there is something wrong that they did or they said? And this 65-year-old man, I mean, how does he know that, what was that scene all about? Did he sit and watch and then, looked at women's body and then said, oh my God, let Shah Rukh Khan, in any case, Shah Rukh Khan, they're targeting in a very, very communal way throughout this period. But to talk about her daughter, I mean, how can he even bring a girl who's just 22-year-old to this kind of a ugly, sleazy discourse? How can he even talk about it? So you can see their mindset. Look at the way he's looking at this whole film and the women and the Deepika Padukone and Shah Rukh's that dance or whatever. I haven't seen that film as yet, but how look at it. Look at the way he's looking at it. Look at the way he's responding. Look at his mind. How dirty. And then also on the other side, I would say that, saying that latke-jhatke and all that for Smriti, I think they should better appreciate someone who has, in fact, gave the party some prestige by defeating a giant, person from the, or the president for that time of the Congress party. Instead of doing all that, they just bring this kind of a, small things. Now, coming to your other thing about representation, do you think such mindset people who are galore across the parliament will ever think that women should come sit parallel to them? Should be, and that is why in these 10 years, there's not been even talk. The bill was passed in Rajya Sabha, as you remember. The bill was women reservation bill was passed in Rajya Sabha, but never even, and all of them wrote in their manifesto that we will be giving this to women, and that will certainly create some sense of balance. There will be certainly some kind of a equality that will exist, and then they will have to really mind their language. But at the moment, no. At the moment, they can get away with whatever they want to say. I think there is a part of the solution is to
Dr.
bring
Panja?
women as equal, bring them in same numbers, and then you should see that the culture will start changing. But look at the corporate. You can't afford to do all this and get away in the corporate sector. Look at the the all kinds of institutions. You can't get away with that. There is a whole law which protects women against sexual harassment. What is this if not sexual harassment? Why should these two gentlemen not be booked under sexual harassment? So I think also voyeurism. We had law. We have a law to protect women against voyeurism. Are these comments voyeuristic? I mean, is anybody looking at it? Can Human Rights Commission take a suo motu action? Should Women's Rights Commission, National Commission for Women, not your former chairperson is sitting here, a friend of mine, can't the commissions walk in and say, okay, fine, enough is enough. You have to stop this or you will have to kind of, pay for it in terms of getting punished by the law. If the parties are not doing anything.
But
why can't these institutions sit down or protect?
No, parties are not doing anything. The Congress has not said anything. The BJP has not said anything in either case. So the parties don't care. The parties simply don't care. And the men don't think they've done anything wrong. Dr. Panja, but will the women reservation bill and reservation for women in parliaments, in assemblies, will that actually help? My own sense is, how will that push out patriarchy?
I'm in West Bengal, and here, even though the reservation bill is not through in the legislature, but still in our state legislature. But as a party, I think a party can also give its indications through its manifesto and through its representation. And for that, we can say the Trinamool Congress has always given a handsome number of seats for representation to women. And that is why we have a woman in parliament from Trinamool Congress. You have the numbers. This is one. And secondly, Trinamool Congress has always been pursuing about reservation bill in every session which comes. I still feel that women representation, unless there is a level playing field, because that is due to our mindset, till then, this issue of reservation becomes important. And you need to thrust it when people don't do it on their own volition, those who are entrusted to do it. Actually, why can't we leave the women alone? You know how you started off the discussion. Why can't you just let them be? Political differences will be there, but why should it come into the domain and the women have to be dictated what they wear and what they don't wear, etc. I mean, that is...
here's the thing.
It's not unusual. It's not unusual, where you hear that rapists are sanskaris.
It's not unusual, but what is also not unusual, Dr.
When you hear the rapists are sanskari men,
is not unusual is netas making misogynistic comments, not just on ladies from the opposition, but even their own party. The Congress party has done it. And the BJP has done it as well. So, the point is that when it comes to misogyny and patriarchy, it isn't just restricted to women who don't adhere to your ideology. It is equally relevant for women within your own party as well. So everyone is fair game when it comes to misogyny. We'll leave it there for the moment. Shows the insecurity, probably, or the deeply patriarchal mindset that we still carry. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Dr. Panja, for joining us. I'm going to thank our other guests, Ranjana Kumari and Lalita Kumaramangalam, for joining us as well. But it's not all